Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we sniff out the truth in corporate filings. Today we're diving into a semi-annual report that's a bit like a magician's trick. It's from Congress Large Cap Growth Fund, and let me tell you, the word growth might be doing some heavy lifting in this report. But first, if you find analysis of SEC filings interesting, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come join us. So this report is a snapshot which covers how the Congress Large Cap Growth Fund retail class has been doing between November of 2024 and April of 2024, and April of 2025 we'll look at what the fund invested in, how it performed, and the costs involved. Let's get started. First things first, this is a semi-annual shareholder report, which basically means it's a check-in with investors every 6 months. It's like your doctor telling you how your investments are doing. You can request additional information about the fund by contacting them. It tells you key things like what the fund invests in and other important details like its financial performance. Now let's talk about costs. For the retail class, the costs related to a $10,000 investment were $44. Annualized, this cost equals to 0.89% of the $10,000 invested. You're going to pay this percentage every year regardless of how it performs. Here are some key statistics as of April of 2025. The fund had about $510 million in assets with 41 total holdings. The portfolio turnover is 15%. Portfolio turnover is 15%. Portfolio turnover is 15%. Portfolio turnover is how often investments are changed, essentially. This means that over this time period, they basically turned over investments are changed, essentially. This means that over this time period, they basically turned over 15% of their investments to new investments, or trading basically. Let's take a look at what this fund is throwing money at. We're talking Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Visa. Notice anything? Tech, tech, and more tech. These top holdings make up around 37% of the fund's entire holdings. The industry breakdown shows software leading the charge, followed by technology including hardware, storage, and peripherals. They also invest in specialty retail, semiconductors, and semiconductor equipment. There is also interactive media, broadline retail, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, and cash. If you're into QR codes, you can scan that one to get even more information about the fund. And remember to save trees and money, they might household you. This means if multiple family members on the same address invest to this fund, only one printed report gets delivered. What's the difference between the institutional class? Let's find out. Quabio, again looking at costs for the last 6 months. The institutional class looks at costs of $31 on a $10,000 investment, translating to 0.64%. All the other high-level stats, the fund assets, number of holdings, and portfolio turnover remain the same. Their investment or their turnover remain the same. NDA investments are in mostly the exact same companies as retail. Let us look into the Congress Mid-Cap Growth Fund. We're shifting gears to mid-sized companies now. So the Congress Mid-Cap Growth Fund tracks companies that are mid-size, unlike the large cap one we read about before. Mid-cap investments means less established companies, which are more risky investments, and these are different from small cap and large cap. As always, let's look at the costs. For the retail class, the cost of $10,000 investment is $50 or 1.05% annualized. Couraged Ed's fund has $52 million in assets with 39 holdings and an 18% portfolio turnover. So this fund has significant investments in Brown & Brown, Penumbra, Copart, and Raymond James Financial. What is this pointing to? Financial services. It is interesting to me given the other fund was much more into tech, while this one is leaning into the financial sector. Looking at the industry, the top investments include software with 14.6%, followed by consumer staples, healthcare equipment, and capital markets. Then we can see aerospace, machinery, and cash as well. Looks like householding applies here also. And now we are back at the institutional class. Checking the costs here is $38 out of $10,000 or 0.80% annualized. The rest all remains pretty much the same, with very minor expense differences. The little guys, this is the Congress Small Cap Growth Fund. Small cap generally means riskier and therefore greater potential for growth or loss. So let's crack this open and see. The costs involved of this fund come out as $60 out of 10,000, which is 1.25% annualized. That's a bit more expensive. These growth funds are all charging fees, and this one is the highest of the three. This fund has a very impressive $1.2 billion of assets spread into 41 holdings with a portfolio turnover of OfficeX spread into 41 holdings with a portfolio turnover of 15%. A low turnover is good because high turnover is a drag on the fees investors are paying. Looking at the holdings, this fund has a lot of money tied to Stride, InterDigital, and Commvault systems. What does all of that even mean? The fund's main thing seems to be different types of software companies while investing in diversified options also. Zooming out, we see that software and healthcare equipment are top holdings, followed by semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and chemicals. And our old friend Lots of Cash with 37.5% in cash and other holdings. That's quite a bit, meaning that they are not investing into anything and just hoarding the cash. And here too applies the rule of householding. Looking at the details of the second class here, institutional, we see $48 of cost per 10,000 or 1.000% in annualized expenses. Alrighty, it's financials time, all the good stuff. Let's start with the Congress Large Cap Growth Fund's statement of assets and liabilities that show a total of $510 million in NE assets. If that's not too fascinating, here is a highlight. The net investment loss, a loss, not income from investments. The fund lost almost $12 million. I would also note the large cap fund and the mid cap fund distributed gains, while the small cap funds did not. So what do I think? Let's go into the weeds and review my actual impression after reading so many numbers. All three sound like dogs chasing different cars. They spread a lot of funds and don't grow a lot. The large cap did a loss, and that might be due to all the holdings in tech. You must time trades in tech right. The mid cap seems more reasonable and might have been a little safer due to the financial holdings. The small cap had the most potential from what I see, but at that point the cash is just laziness more than safety. Overall, a direction I think these funds need to change is investing a lot of cash into something. It's a loss when cash just stands still. If you're paying someone to find investments, they should be finding investments. That's it for me. I think that these funds are okay, but if there's turmoil or bad luck, they will have the potential to lose money without being ready. High turbulence is definitely something to keep an eye on in this market. Remember to do your own research before making any investment decisions. This is just my take on public information, not financial advice. It is best to talk to a financial advisor. Alright, that's our breakdown of this corporate report. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the fund's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.